Hello everyone and welcome to Auction Not Included. We're going to be specifically focusing on the Prehistoric Planet Pack. So a few days back I did a Let's Play of a new game I got on Humble Bundle called Wizard with a Gun. And wouldn't you know it, that game is the weirdest combo of like a Klee game, specifically Don't Starve and Enter the Gungeon. Anyway, so that kind of just made me want to play a more simulationist game, and Auction Not Included is what I landed on. I discovered they had some new DLC I hadn't heard about, and that's going to be the Prehistoric pack. I also haven't played the Frosty Planet pack as well, but the Prehistoric one just sounds way more fun, so we're going to jump right into that. Um, I don't really 100% know what any of these settings do, and I haven't played this game in a long time, so we're just going to hit start game and see what happens. I fully expect we're going to hit a death spiral at some point, because I remember, like, even back when I was playing this game a lot. Hey, I just noticed my camera's missing. Why is my camera missing? Hello? Um, 1 second. There we go. There's my camera. Anyways, not that I'm particularly interesting to look at, but anyways, so I remember like I used to have a specific setup with what I wanted out of my original duplicates. I don't remember any of that. In fact, I never got to a point where I went like infinite with any of the setups. I was still learning to like make mildly infinite setups. So fully expect I will die, possibly being eaten by a dino creature. Alright, so anyways, we're just gonna get into these guys. Ranching, I remember being super important later on. I don't remember any of it. Rocketry, I know that's important now, but I don't remember. I never learned that, I don't think. Supplying, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to reroll all of these guys. Um, so let's see, tidying, that's pretty important, I remember. Suit wearing. Ranching again, okay. Undigging, decreased excavation. Well, that's all we're going to be doing for the early game, so we're definitely going to avoid that. Aversion to husbandry, critter aversion isn't really a problem, so interior decorator, that could be useful. We're gonna reroll, well, increase science but decrease machinery is kind of a weird mix. Okay, farming, that's really good in the early game. Research, that's really good in the early game. Innate stylish, increased decor. Building impaired, decreased construction. He's really good in some ways, but really bad in others, and I don't really know what they are. Maya. Green thumb and 8, squeamish. Interesting. You know what? I don't really remember what any of this stuff does, so I'm just gonna embark, and if we die, we die. If everyone dies, that's just the nature of these kind of games. Alert! My collision monitor system has detected an imminent threat to our survival. A huge impact asteroid is hurtling directly at this planet. We must make our way to the surface and mount a defense in time to destroy the incoming asteroid before it destroys us. Not a fan of that, honestly. So first thing, we're gonna just pause and see what happens here. Does it say how long we have? Anywhere? I guess Denora might be it? No, that's our planet. See all. Yeah, we're gonna live on a very, we're probably gonna die. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see us surviving. Since I can't even figure, oh, star map maybe? I don't know what any of this stuff is. Alright, so I do know one thing. I know how to dig, which was G, if I remember right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to dig out a lot of room. And in fact, most of our first day is probably going to be spent digging, because I like to make a really big, like, hall in the center, and I like that hall to turn into a barracks. Because if we put our barracks in the center, everything goes better. Research portal. Interesting. I've never seen this before. A functional research decryptor with 1 transmission remaining. It was designed to support colony survival. Neat. We'll probably build our way up there. Let's see. How wide do I want this to be? I usually made a really big, yeah, 25 feels good. And it goes right through the middle. Okay, so 1 second. No. Alright, so I'm super weird about this because I want it to be like quote unquote right. And I realize there isn't a quote unquote right for this. but I want it to be as symmetrical as possible because my brain goblins will go crazy if it isn't, and I don't want that to happen. This game both is incredibly relaxing, but it's also incredibly upsetting to me because, like, I always end up with something just like one tile off, and it just bothers me so bad. Like, I'm not OCD, it's just I want to build the perfect base, you know? Anyways, we're just going to get this all settled in. And then we're going to do, I believe it was a 2 wide. We wanted this to be about 2 wide. So this is going to be our up and our down. I'm not seeing anything that looks dangerous. Mimikas are airborne organisms that help nearby plants grow more quickly. Oh, that's cool. Alright, that's nice. Anyways, I remember that if you, you could kind of like just ignore carbon dioxide for a couple days, because if you, like, you could just create like a well that went pretty deep down, and the carbon dioxide would just fall down there, and so you could avoid suffocating for a while while you got your air scrubbers up. This game is a little more... Ooh, what's a lum? Lums are non-hostile critters that subsist on ovolgaro vines. When they stomp heavily near plants, the commotion causes harvestable items to fall on the ground. Okay, cool. So they could technically be useful for harvesting, or we could eat them. Yeah, that was about as advanced as I got. Like, I had not infinite, but a very well-supported farm that, as long as I was paying attention, would be theoretically infinite when I played this game last. So, this game kind of like scratches that same itch for me that Factorio does, but with a little bit of The Sims, and I really love that. Like, I actually, I should probably try to get my wife to play this game because I feel like she would like it, but I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that. Alright, so how high do I want this to go? Because I remember there was like a, I want to say 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll put the next one here. Or was it 5? Because I remember I like to have like little buffers here to ensure that liquid wouldn't flow. That's kind of the like out, that is, because like usually you want to put your power stuff as far down as possible and create like a core of heat far away from your main living quarters. Or at least that's what I did. And more than once, I of course flooded the whole area. There was death, there was screaming. You know how it goes. Let's see. We need an outhouse right away because these guys are like the Sims. They don't care. We're gonna put that up to a priority 9 so someone actually does it. You never skimp on the outhouses in this game. That is a very bad idea. Do not skimp. We have a ton of nickel. I'm not sure what nickel does. Nothing seems to be like super like what new blueprints unlocked? 8 unclaimed blueprints. Okay. Basic yellow pants. This is new. I don't think I had this before. We'll just go through these real quick. I imagine this is because I played the game before, or I have the DLC or something. I don't know what's happening here, so I'm just going to ignore that for now. My internet's really crap right now. Thanks a lot, Google Fiber, by the way. They were doing some upgrades, and my internet's been crap since the upgrades have started. But yeah, anyways, we're going to put our special... we're going to put a tile here, and a tile here. And then we're going to have 2 blocks here, and then same thing here. We just want to make sure that we don't end up with any bad flood situations, because that's usually where a lot of my early game bases died. Something flooded, I had something wrong, my little duplicates, you know, couldn't hold it in, and then suddenly my power system down here was completely flooded with something or other, usually bad. Also, these guys are, if you've never played this game, they're pretty dumb. Like, they will trap themselves and die. So you gotta watch out for that. So, day 1's probably not going to end with them having a shelter. They will probably just sleep on the floor. I don't really know if that's a problem. I've never really had a problem with it in the past, but we'll see. We will generally just want to like get enough resources and a basic barracks up. This is where my brain runs into problems, by the way, because like I want things to be right, so I don't want to do them too quickly, but I also want to make sure like everything's spaced properly, and it just makes me go crazy. You know how it is. We have 24, so 24 divided by 2 is 12. 6. We might be able to fit 4 barracks up here, and let me just real quick see. Where are the beds? Furniture, beds. So a bed takes up 2 cots. So if it's 6, they have 2 for a cot, 1 for a plant, and 1 for a statue. Yeah, that should be fine. So, but we also have to include the door, so it's going to be 5 with the door, because I guess these guys care about their privacy. It should be plenty, though. It's going to resemble a military barrack, though. Don't know what to tell you. It always resembles a military barrack at some point. Alrighty. Furniture, cot, yes. So generally, like, personally, I'm a utilitarian nutjob who doesn't care about giving my Sims their needs, but I do remember these guys go pretty crazy if they don't have at least a little decor, which I've always not particularly liked, but whatever. They need what they need. So we will just so basically the design I usually go with is like cot, plant, statue, some kind of, I forget what they're called, but like decorative wall stuff. Okay, so we kind of messed up here. So we have 2 extra over here. Whatever. It's fine. I can turn this into... Oh no. I can't turn that into a bathroom. Right, I usually liked having like bathrooms everywhere because the dirty little monsters are dirty little monsters. Don't know what to tell you, they just are. We'll unlock the portal and see what happens. Um, yeah, that usually happens on the first day, so we're just gonna fast forward through the night because nothing can happen in the night. That's probably the cutest Stegosaurus I have ever seen, by the way. What else is around us? Oh, I don't know if I like that. That's kind of weird looking. Nickel, peat. Oh, peat's fertilizer, and then fertilizer. I'm not sure what the difference between fertilizer and peat is because peat is technically like it's not fertilizer, but it's a like in it's the gross under stuff of a swamp, and they often use it in plants. Like if you buy a plant from a store, it'll probably be in peat moss because it holds in a lot of water, and so they don't have to like worry about making it making sure it's watered and it'll stay alive for a little while. Basically all on its own. Alright, so we've got a nice little barracks coming along. What's the next need? I think we need to have, what's it called? We're gonna need, research next. I'm not sure if we need it, but, we want it next. But before research, we need power. And we're just gonna plop down our power generation right here because, in the early game it doesn't matter much, but we eventually want to have a resource generating area and a research generating area, rather. We also want resource generating, but you get the idea. Good water. I've been really thirsty lately. It's just been so hot. Like, today it's 80 something degrees, and that's the coolest it's been in a while. I'm not too happy about that. But yeah. So, research station. We're also gonna want to start. I guess the bathrooms are gonna be over here. So we'll have a bathroom over here. Like usually, well, if I redo this, I can turn this into a bathroom. Well, I think I want to. They only use the bathroom if they cross by it. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna put the bathrooms over here, and if we start having a lot of germ problems, we'll just handle that as it comes. You have to assign these people cots because they're not smart enough to just take them. I remember that. Basically, just imagine the stupidest Sims you've ever seen, and that's their level of intelligence. They will drown, they will get caught, they will poop on themselves. Yeah, now the good stuff. I'm so sorry, I forgot to turn off my alert volume. Alright, alert volume is now turned off. Alrighty. What's next? So usually I don't get super into research, and oh yeah, I also need to do the wiring. I don't super get into research until it's actually worth doing when you usually. It used to be when you had four. I really want to call them Sims, by the way. They're not Sims, but you get the idea. But I think we're coming along nicely. Do we have any seeds or anything that would indicate we should start farming? Not really, no. So I'm not seeing any of this plants I'm familiar with, which is normal because this is like a different DLC, different biome, but usually there's some kind of plant that it's gonna be like your first plant, you'll probably want to replace the farms for it eventually. Oh, hey, uranium. That's something. Because this game, the exact kind of game that would have radiation poisoning be a problem. I kind of want them to dig out their cots with a little higher priority because, like, yeah, not sleeping on the floor makes me cranky, so I totally understand if it makes them cranky. Although laying on the floor is actually pretty good for you sometimes. Like, so I used to like believe the softer the bed, the better, and that's basically bed propaganda. The when I went to the Philippines to meet up with my well, she wasn't my wife then, but she eventually became my wife, obviously. But my wife before she was my wife, so we rented an Airbnb, and it had the hardest bed I have ever slept on. But here's the catch: I had zero back pain because at that point I had like I had one of those what do you call it? It was a fancy, expensive mattress that was like memory foam, the softest possible, and I always I'd wake up with like devastatingly painful hip pain, and yeah, so I go over there, I sleep on the hardest bed of my life, zero back pain, zero. So I've since learned that like, for me at least, I want like so the pillow should be there should be a firm pillow as the first pillow, and pillow that's like just up against the back a little, raising my head just slightly. That's technically not good for you, but anyways, then a soft pillow that doesn't raise my head too much, but it's very soft and easy on the neck, allows me to turn in any direction I want. And then the mattress should be like a medium firmish. It can be a little firmer or a little softer, but just not really soft because what was happening is in the memory foam, I would just sink into the memory foam, not move at all, and something was happening with my hips that just destroyed them. So yeah, if you have back pain and you have a really soft bed and you've never tried a hard bed, you should really try it. Also, just lying flat on the floor with in proper posture with your toes together and pointed straight up, it feels amazing. But anyways, oh, portal unlocked. Eureka, we've decrypted the research portal's final transmission. New buildings have become available. Blast shot maker, meteor blaster. Okay. Well, that's ominous. Demolior. Imminent threat. Time. Oh no, I missed the time. Oh no. So, if I hadn't clicked that, would the time have not happened? Do I have a... Oh. Oh no. I played myself. Time until impact. 198 cycles? That seems like a really long time, because I don't think I've ever gotten through 198 cycles. So it's not a, It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen really soon. So I guess I can just ignore that for a while and get my base up and my farm and food and everything like normal, and that's gonna be like the end game disaster. Interesting. Well, I for a moment thought I had just ended this playthrough prematurely because it would hit in like 10 days or something, but I guess not. Anyways, so like I was saying, if you've never tried, check out a firm mattress and see if it solves all of your back pain. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? They just fell right through, didn't they? No power wire. We want to get those up soon. I'm just gonna have them like finish this real quick. Priority 6. Because I just want the second level to be done. The rest I don't really care that much about, but after the second level's done, I want those copper, and we can start on our research and our very basic power system. Anyways, I don't really remember what my goals were. I know that like eventually we're gonna need water, and there's not a lot of water on this map actually now that I look at it. So we might be doomed actually. So we're gonna have to go down and get water pretty soon. I don't remember if they actually drink water, but I don't really remember if they drink water, but I know we need it. So we're just gonna go down here and do this. Um, Pitcher. There we go. That's not a lot of water. Usually what I try to do is I try to like dig out a reservoir and put all of my water into one area. And that's not always the best idea because you can very easily end up having it be the case where all your water gets contaminated with bio waste, and that's not good. Speaking of which, I'm really paranoid about germs because of the aforementioned bio waste. So how do I see germs again? Um, I don't 100% remember. I'm not just going to randomly hit keys because I don't. I have some hotkeys set up and I don't want those to happen. Let's see. Oh, overlays. Germ overlay is F9. Oh, look at these dirty little monsters. So until we get plumbing set up, I don't think we can actually. Oh wait, this. Yeah, even the sink doesn't work really. Let's see. Medicine. Wash basin. Yeah, I think we can put I think we can put water in the wash basin manually at first, so we're just gonna do some prioritizing stuff. We want to get down here. We want to have water for our wash basin. By the way, my tongue is almost 100% healed, but every once in a while I'm just going to make a weird noise with my tongue, usually in a s kind of noise, because it still hurts a tiny bit. Also, I'm worried I'm going to talk like that forever, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm worried this is permanently damaged to my ability to speak, which would not be great, considering I want to have speaking as a career. Alright, so we are now set up to have 4 of these guys. Do we have much food left? I think, one second, I need to organize my, everything, actually. I don't think we have a lot of, we have 3,400 calories left, which isn't a ton, but it's not a small amount either. So we probably won't have to resort, hopefully we won't have to resort to the, what do you call it, the nutrient mush. Also, we seem to have a fair amount of plants here, and I imagine some of them are edible, right? We don't actually want to dig up any of the dirt, we just want to get to it. Yeah, there we go. I thought I canceled that earlier by alt-clicking it, but I guess not. So I'm actually kind of disappointed that the asteroid isn't going to kill us much sooner than that. Like, I feel like that's really far off, honestly. He's running, but there's no, we'll put that down to a 5 right now. That way we can get a little bit of power up. Let's see. Basic farming is pretty important. Oops. Medicine isn't that important right now. Plumbing, though, we're gonna go straight for plumbing because I want to get automated bathrooms up. Just because I really, really want to avoid that spiral of doom that is poop doom. I want to avoid poop-based doom. I think that's a fair and reasonable thing to want to avoid in life. I don't know what we'd get out of this if we demolished it, but hopefully something. We're also just going to like dig up all the plant life, I guess, just in the hopes that it feeds us. Yep, that's the kind of people we are. We're gonna strip mine this world. We're industrialist. We don't care. Hmm. 9 visits remaining. I also remember there was a way to like you wanted to do it far away from like anything important, but you could turn the waste into manure, and you could use the manure to grow plants, which gross, but hey, that's the circle of life for you. That's not what they sung about in the Disney movie, unfortunately, so they didn't teach anyone anything. What are my priorities right now? So, I guess I don't really care if they finish all of this crap, so I'm going to deprioritize it down to about 5 again, and then try to get them to go where they actually need to be. Are you the researcher? I remember there was a way to set, yeah. So, who is the smart one? Nicola, no, Nicola, skills, that's what we will hit. You have improved farming and advanced research, so we want to set you to having a priority of doing research. So all this looks complicated, but if it's a plus, it means they're more likely to do it. If it's a minus, they're less likely to do it. Um, and if it's an X, that means they can't do it. So we want to put you having a we want a high where's research? Storing, supplying, digging, ranching, building, farming, operating, researching. So we want um also the colors do mean something. If it's gray, it means they're not good at it. If it's kind of like red, I guess it means they are good at it. But anyways, we're just going to give him a priority towards doing research and farming because those are the things he's good at. We'll give her a slight priority towards decorating because that's what she's good at. She's also good at farming. We didn't go very wide with our skills, so supplying and storing would be great because look at all this crap on the ground. It's not making it nice. One second, let me switch to the decor. It's not something we're gonna worry about right now, but eventually they're going to start having breakdowns. Yeah, look how bad our decor is. This thing actually like has a huge bonus to decor, and even it's being overwhelmed by all the crap on the ground. So, where is picking up? Sweep, is that what it was? Yeah. So we want to also like try to clean this up. And if we at all can, we would love to get a specialist. I want to call them Sims, but yeah, we want to get a specialist to actually do this stuff. Why are you guys not doing this? I thought I had a higher priority to this. Um, but yeah, we want to get a specialist Sim just to clean everything up, and then we can start working on the decor, and then we're going to avoid weird little tantrums. Also, an automated bathroom right here, I guess, would be great. We'll put our first automated bathroom right here. I think they need to be about... You need a sink and a toilet, was it? Let me see. I don't remember what I did. Stations? Rocketry. So a wash basin takes up 2, and you want it by the door. I remember that much. And I don't think I've unlocked the shower, but I like the shower just because it like restores it restores both it restores their morale and it also cleans them, so it's good. Okay, so we got our first blueprint, so let's see what we get. So we can get a care package of nutrient bars. That's a lot of calories. It really is, but they hate them. They're grisly to eat. It reduces morale, they're so bad. So we've got this guy who's super good at creativity. He can also cook, and he can also do animal loving stuff. But he has a small bladder, which is super weak. This one is good at operating machines, is a gourmet, so they can also cook. Iron Gut, so they're super good at avoiding food poisoning. Uncultured. They don't care too much about morale. They can't do animal husbandry. This one's super good at digging, which would not be bad right now, mind you. Plant murder, can't do agriculture, can't do building though. I guess we're gonna. Oh, frostproof. That's kind of useful. I don't know. Digging's really good right now, and we're only going to be doing more digging as we go on. But gourmet. I think we're going to go with this one just because I think cooking's going to be more of an issue than building. And around the time you get 4 of these people is usually when your initial supply of food starts getting weird. But anyways, we're going to call this our first episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I'm doing everything wrong. Please do. I will try to correct it as best I can. I hate doing things wrong. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.